Good morning, millennials. Welcome back to the Morning Toast. Happy Monday.
Hey.
I'm a broken woman, you know?
We had a big weekend.
We had a big weekend, and we were rushed out of New Jersey yesterday, truly political refugees.
Yes, we were.
And I never got time to process the hangover because we were so busy fleeing.
Yeah.
So I'm now taking on a sympathy hangover from yesterday.
Understood. The hangover never hit for me because as far as fleeing a country goes, yesterday was pretty smooth.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. When you guys come to my shows, it's so great, family together, but it's torture because I left for the venue sound check, meet and greet at 5 o'clock, and you guys started drinking at 5 o'clock. So by the time the show was over at 10 o'clock, you guys are lit, ready to go, and I haven't even started drinking yet. So every time that you guys come to a show, I have to cram 6 hours worth of drinking into 2 hours, and I always end up just blacking out and falling asleep.
Yeah, overdoing it. It's
I fell asleep at the pizza place at Foxwoods.
Yes.
And my arms just went out, you know?
Yeah.
And then I just I don't even know what happened in Jersey yesterday.
It was a quick drunk for you,
Yeah.
but don't worry. Once we all got tired, we got pizza thanks to the Snatcher.
The snitch. Oh my God, by the way, I don't
There
know.
was such pizza drama.
Oh, everyone was yelling at me that I didn't get enough. But
I
I got
mean,
an
it's
extra
the
large
fattest
pie.
fight of all
It's
time.
very brave of you to just think that 8 people, 8 slices. It's just not how the world
But we
works.
also had a Carvel cake too. We
Yeah.
had food at home.
That Carvel cake.
We truly had a pizza party.
We had a kid's birthday party.
We just needed the hats.
I was sitting at that dining room table with a big piece of cake, which I ate first, and then the pizza. And I thought to myself, I don't know if I've ever been this happy.
No, it was truly delicious.
It was truly delicious. And then we ran out of town.
Yeah.
And you guys got stuck in so much traffic going to New Jersey that on the way back, Zach, your husband, convinced us to take the ferry. And I'm not going to lie, I was very trepidatious. I'm no, I've seen the Titanic. It's going to be a no from me. And I've never been more excited to say, I was so wrong.
You were so wrong. We were all wrong. We were all skeptical, but it was a beautiful experience on the high seas.
I have to say that going on the ferry, it was the most fun I've ever had. The ferry, first of all, what they don't tell you about the ferry, stunning. Amenities up the wazoo. There's a bar. There's toilets, 2 toilets with real flushes and soap. So clean. I pooped on the ferry, okay? I did. That's how nice it was, I'm sorry to say. And then we had these delicious seats with a table, and then the view. When we had to get off the ferry.
The vistas, you guys.
When we had to get off the ferry, I was going to cry. I was having the best time. We were all just hanging out, talking. The ferry was everything. Now I have to get a house at the Jersey Shore.
It was weird because when I got home, I was how did I get here? My experience wasn't treacherous enough.
No, I was laying in bed.
I'm already here.
Yeah, no, it was just I wasn't used to the ease.
A treach-free experience.
And now I'm just so, and Zach, Jackie's husband, was please don't tell everyone about the ferry on the toast. Then there'll be more people on it. I love that he thinks we're so influential, but we are. And I can't stress enough how much of a fan I am of the ferry and the Sea Streak, the holding company, the privately owned. That's why it's so good. It's privately owned. And I'm gonna invest.
Yeah, I think that's where we should put our funds. And then we'll talk about it. It'll make it more popular. And then it's
and then it's mutual interest or whatever they call it.
Insider
Stocks
trading.
and bonds. Yeah, that's it.
Sweet. Well, your show was amazing.
Thank you.
It was so nice to meet the New Jersey Toasters. Asbury Park was amazing. I felt like I was in Nashville by the sea.
No, totally. And then we went across the street to
right?
the
You've never been to Nashville.
Marta just booked her
going.
trip next week.
Labor Day weekend.
Are you excited?
Bye.
Bye, counselor.
Bye.
It was just a jolly good show. And did you know, I was doing the math yesterday, I had a lot of free time. I will have done 81 shows.
I watched your Instagram stories, so I did know that.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So much. I'm so, I work so hard.
You are comic.
I am comic. 14 more tickets available at girlwithnojob.com.
Yeah, I'd highly suggest it. I hadn't seen the show since March, and it's just better and better every time.
I have a story that I want to share with you.
And if you've already seen it, you can see it again.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it 6 times now.
I have a personal journey I want to share that I'm borderline embarrassed to say, but it's too funny not to.
Okay.
Because when I got home yesterday, I was just so hungry, and at 4 or 5 o'clock, I ordered glazed teriyaki, which is so good. It's like Chipotle, but Asian. So it's rice bowls with teriyaki chicken. It's the best.
Oh, sounds like
it's
you
my
invented
favorite.
it.
Yeah, it sounds like I invented it. And I ordered it on an app. And I was so hungry, and it was taking so long. And finally, Ben went to a concert last night, so I'm all alone, just me and Theo. And my phone rings from the doorman, and he's like, "You got a food delivery," but I'm like, "What's wrong with the food?" And he's like, I would call the restaurant. This does not look he was being so frazzled, and I just couldn't understand. He was like, "You'll see, but don't." The guy was he just wasn't finishing his sentences. And the food was brought up, and I'm not gonna lie, it looked a little beat up. Like the cap was slightly off some of the chicken and poured out, but like I was so fucking hungry. Like you bet your ass I ate the whole thing. Then a few hours later, I went downstairs to walk Theo, and the doorman was like, "Did you call the restaurant?" I lied. I was like, "Yeah, I got a free refund. Like, don't worry." I was just like embarrassed, you know. I just wanted to eat it. And he goes, "I've never seen anything like this in my life. Like this guy showed up without a shirt on, and delivered the food, and he was like, he didn't have shoes on either. Like it was so weird." And I was like,
What?
that is information he should have shared on the phone. Obviously, if I had known a naked man had delivered the food, I wouldn't have eaten it. But he just said, like, it looked like it was banged up. There was a storm outside. Like, okay, I'm not judging the fact that the box was a little banged up. But had he told me that the man was shirtless, I feel as though that changes things.
That definitely changes things.
I was mortified. I'm like, yeah, no, I didn't eat it. Like, I called the restaurant. Don't worry, Peter.
That's so crazy. That's like one time I had a glam squad come to my apartment and she rang my doorbell and she wasn't wearing shoes. And I looked down the hallway. I like was trying to figure out where her shoes could be. And then she did my hair and she was great. And then she left and I called the doorman. I was like, was she wearing shoes when she came into the building? Like, and he didn't know. I was like, well, he must have noticed if she wasn't wearing shoes.
Threw them in her purse because I think they have to take your shoes off. Like they always ask you, I'm gonna take my shoes off. I'm like, no, I don't care.
Oh, thrown in the purse. I didn't think of
Ready?
that one.
I have a different one. This is the weirdest one. When I was in high school, I had an SAT tutor at the house, and she fainted. And I was home all alone, and she said she was gluten-free and she had eaten a soup while we were like studying, and I guess like it had corn in it or something. And she fainted right in front of me, and like I was a child, like I didn't know what to do. I was so like frazzled, like I froze, and like she woke up and then just left.
That's so crazy.
I know.
Wow. Interessant.
Crazy times, man. Crazy times.
Crazy times.
I guess that's what happens when you eat gluten.
I guess that's what happens when you try and take the SATs.
Yeah. Look what it did to me.
Body's dropping. Okay, well, do you think it's time? I don't know. I truly don't know.
I don't know. Is there anything we haven't recapped?
Oh, well, I spent my whole day yesterday watching The Society because the two of you were watching it on tour, and I had like such FOMO from not being able to talk about it I watched 10 episodes in like 10 hours.
I have to give credit to Margot. Like we were in this hotel room where it's like normally I'm like a snot about hotel rooms. I'm like, oh, this room. But I had such a treacherous travel day. Like this hotel, like I think it was the Four Seasons. It was the best hotel I'd ever been at. And then the TV had Netflix. So we were dying. And you know, it's so hard. Like Netflix, like you can't watch anything. Like there's nothing on it.
There's nothing to watch.
So it's like I was happy about it, like, but I also wasn't. And then Margaret was like, I've heard such good things about The Society. And I'm honestly so trepidatious to always like start new shows because there's such poor content out there. And I went into it with the mindset of having absolutely no idea what it was about. And I'm so happy that I did because like when the kids got off the bus, I was like, where are the parents? Like I didn't know, you know?
Yeah.
The best show ever. It's like a modern Lord of the Flies. Those kids are fucking amazing actors and they're not like being thirst monsters. You know what I mean? Like I feel like all the kids who get famous from like different shows, they like go to the BBMAs. You know what I mean? Like they're so...
Yeah, and like in every episode their lips get bigger.
Yeah. No, but like these kids are fucking amazing actors. They're so... All of them can cry.
Yeah.
Except...
Okay, there's a weird thing with the crying because it's like they're all stoic. And I understand some people cry like that where it's just
Catherine
tears.
Newton can definitely cry on her own.
Oh, I feel like there are some people that are stoic and tears just stream down their face. But like for every single kid to have that type of cry.
Netflix really wanted like good actors. They didn't want any fucking Rachel Green, Jennifer Aniston who can't actually cry.
I think it's just teardrops. Like I think they just put shit in their eyes and then they're like,
no, I don't think so.
Waterworks.
I don't think so.
Yes, that's really what it felt like.
Because the girl who plays Elle, is that her name, the pie girl? She doesn't cry. When she was sitting in the church confessing to the priest,
Oh yeah.
whatever her name is, Helena, who I love,
Love.
the priestess, she wasn't crying. She was like I could do that, you know? There was no tears. She was just like moving her face.
Maybe they ran out of tear budget.
No, or maybe she's just one of the ones who can't cry.
Or maybe
but she was such a good actress too when she was having the seizure.
Or maybe she's supposed to be like a little bit of a sociopath.
Right. Well, that's true. It's like...
Which would be why she doesn't cry. Let's recap the show at the end for those who have never seen it and maybe want to watch it and we don't want to spoil it and they should have the same experience that we had.
It's just such a good show. You guys just watch it.
It really is. It's quite enjoyable. So without further ado, it is time for the Fast 5 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast.
So it's time. I agree with you that the time is now. It is time. But I would be like so upset and like so heartbroken, devastated. Like I don't know if I could ever recover if I didn't let you know that today's episode is brought to you by Daily Harvest. Now that Now that warm weather is here, the last thing I want to do is spend my days trapped indoors, standing over a hot stove. That is my worst fucking nightmare, standing over a hot stove. Can you imagine? There's so much fun stuff to do during the summer. I need the option to just eat and go. And that's what we love about Daily Harvest.
Eat and go. That's how we sum up ourselves.
It's a great for the summer thing too, but it's also just like when you're a working woman in the mornings, you just need to like grab and go with like an acai bowl.
A working mom.
A single mom sometimes because Ben is a deadbeat dad.
100%. Daily Harvest has your back.
For all the deadbeat dads out there, Daily Harvest delivers thoughtfully sourced, chef-crafted food that is built on fruits and vegetables. You have to stop laughing. I'm trying to do an ad. Come on.
Sorry, you just got me in the beginning.
Okay, but seriously, Daily Harvest delivers thoughtfully sourced. Okay, I can't sound like I'm trying to work.
Okay. It is thoughtfully sourced.
You do it, okay? People need to know about Daily Harvest.
Daily Harvest delivers thoughtfully sourced, chef-crafted food that is built on fruits and vegetables and can be prepared in less than 5 minutes. Fill your box with more than 65 different options, like ready-to-blend smoothies, refreshing chilled soups, gazpacho, love it.
It's actually gazpacho, but
and savory harvest bowls. I love a gazpacho. Everything stays fresh in your freezer until you're ready to eat it. Each Daily Harvest cup takes one step to prepare with room for customization. Add your favorite milk to a smoothie and blend, or heat a harvest bowl and top it with avocado or a fried egg, if it's keto season for you. All of the Daily Harvest ingredients are sourced and selected for maximum nourishment and peak season flavor. I love the smoothies with Daily Harvest. I can put like my own milk in it. I don't know, whatever milk I'm drinking of the day. Ben has gotten me now on oat milk.
Oh my God.
But I could put that in my smoothie.
I see that stuff in my fridge and I throw it out.
Good. Go to dailyharvest.com and enter promo code TOAST to get $25 off your first box. That's promo code TOAST for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com. Dailyharvest.com. Honestly, go forth and prosper.
And harvest.
Yeah.
Honestly, thank you for doing that. Like, I just couldn't get through it, and it's like we got money to make, but
it was my fault. I'm sorry.
It's just like that's what happens when like you're so funny.
Laughter is contagious.
It truly is.
Okay. First story,
I'm starving.
Some happy news. You got to get your Daily Harvest.
I know.
Some happy news, wedded bliss for Dwayne Johnson.
To truly an unknown. And I have a lot of thoughts about this because Dwayne Johnson is arguably the most famous person in the world. Actually, not even arguably. Like, I would say he's one of the top 20 most famous people in the world. Like, he has this global presence. And he has, like, the most personal private life, and people just respect it. It's, like, not fair.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's cultivated that for himself. And I feel as though he posted with his wife on Instagram, and people just, like, want happiness for him and joy, so they're not going to try and, like, rip that apart. That's also what he's, like, projecting in addition to, like, being a mega superstar is, like, leave me alone.
I also feel
like you don't see him get paparazzi because he doesn't fucking call them.
Right. Disrespect, yeah. You know what's interesting? I feel like not enough people talk about how, like, and I'm not one to pit people against each other, but, like, I actually am. And I think that there's definitely, like, an underlying competition between The RHOC and Jason Momoa, like, most famous Hawaiian.
Ooh, it's tough. And I think because, like, The RHOC got that part in Moana.
It totally catapulted him.
It catapulted him, but I don't know, Jason Momoa's, like, out here doing the most.
I know.
For the oceans.
No,
and he's Aquaman.
True.
Why can't we share it?
I'm just saying, like, if there was a pageant for...
Share it. A piece for
Gretchen
Jason
Wieners.
Momoa.
Partial Spring Fling Queen. I'm just saying, like, it's something to think about.
It is something to think about, but I don't know. I feel like there's enough to go around for everyone.
And I didn't know that he wasn't already married. He has 2 daughters, right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying, like, he's the most famous person in the world. Like, I should know everything about him, like the inside of his butthole, but I don't.
You should.
Because he has 2 daughters, one who was Miss Golden Globe, right?
Yes.
And the whole Miss Golden Globe thing is, like, so weird.
It's weird. I can't believe it still goes on, but it's kind of cool, but it's so, like, nepotistic.
Oh, 1,000%.
But it's, like, between, like, the sexualization of children thing and the nepotism, I didn't think it would exist in 2019.
No, totally. But it's
yet
really,
here we are.
But it's always, like, they only choose the daughters of people, like, who are super famous, and we don't know the daughters. You know what I mean? Like, Kelsey Grammer, so famous. Greer Grammer, she was in that show, Awkward, for, like, a minute. And
she was great.
Yeah, she was. It was a great show. But and then The RHOC, the most famous person in the world, his daughter, who? And then she was it. You know, it's like, why don't they give it to Cassie David? You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's a little too famous for the role.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you have to be a loser to do it, which obviously is why I haven't been asked.
Of course. They got married in Hawaii, August 18, 2019. So sweet. She's a beautiful woman. They look very happy. That's a nice sunset.
The RHOC deserves the best. Like, he brings so many people joy, like, all the time. Like, he deserves some joy. And I feel like the people who are, like, their whole job is, like, bringing people joy, like, they're the ones who are the most depressed.
For sure. But I don't see that for him.
No, me neither. But that's what they say about everyone.
Yeah, like comedians.
Yeah. Robin Williams.
Anything. Very sad.
No,
Dark
sure.
turn.
I got a question on a Bad Time Q&A, like, do you feel depressed because you're a comedian? And I was, like, embarrassed to say no.
I feel like this would be a great conversation for you on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
I totally
You know, the
agree.
stigma around comedians, well, not even stigma, just, like, the way it is.
And I feel like Jerry Seinfeld could totally relate.
For sure, but I also feel as though I've heard you speak about it before. I don't know about in public, but like just in life, about how you could see how that happens.
I can see
how like you sometimes, it helps to have a drink before you go on stage, but then like you're drinking at every show.
I said that to Margot, and I never drink at shows, but if you guys are there, like, afterwards I do. But when I first started, I was, like, so nervous that I used to, like, take a shot before every show. And then some random, like, manager at a comedy club in, like, St. Louis was telling me how, like, how so many comedians become alcoholics because they rely on that one drink before every show, and then it's one, and then it's two, and then it's like you can't do a show without it, and you're working so much that you need a drink. And I don't even know if this guy realized, like, he saved my life, because I was like, oh my God, I'm never drinking again. Like, I used to have a bottle of tequila on my rider. I'm like, no thanks, like, for real.
Yeah,
So
that's 81 bottles of tequila.
Yes, 99 bottles of tequila on the, yes, for sure.
For 81 shows.
But then it got me thinking, what were we talking about?
Comedians, depression, alcohol.
Oh, yeah. So the alcohol definitely is more of a depressive, but then I also was thinking, like, sometimes I'm not depressed, but sometimes I feel like I'm on the road and then we do the show, like we do meet and greets, like I give my all, you know? And then it's like when it's time to go home, like I give nothing because I have nothing left to give, and like me and Ben like never go out to dinner anymore because all I want to do is lay at home, you know?
I understand.
So I don't know if that's depression. I don't think it is. I think I'm just like trying to be dramatic. But
I think that's you trying to find balance.
You said it, sis.
Work-life balance. It's all the rage.
Totally. You know who has great work-life balance?
Who?
Our sister Olivia.
She does.
She's like always working and always living.
And she's always like wifing.
Yes.
You know,
she
works
makes dinner every night.
Every night. That's what she was saying. She made dinner for us
In Jersey.
at the park of Asbury this weekend.
The tacos, supreme.
Supreme.
Sometimes I just go to Olivia's house for a good meal.
Yeah. I don't know.
Truly,
I
she
don't
does it
know
all.
how she does it. She's like that movie with Sarah Jessica Parker.
How does she do it? That, you know, Sarah Jessica Parker should be embarrassed of like her catalog of movies. First, she ruined the world with Carrie Bradshaw. I've taken a lover. And then, like, she really was a part of some of the worst movies of all time. Remember those bangs in Failure to Launch?
Ooh, bad. Or The Family Stone.
Oh, woof. Woof. I'm just saying, like, everyone, like, regards her as, like, this, like, world-famous actress, and I just want to put it out there, like, she's awful. Like, sorry, I said it.
Yeah, you know what? It's not the first time we've said it.
No, I mean, okay, remember how recently she addressed how, like, there was a New York Times article, or, like, the Cut article,
that said that
Carrie
she's
Bradshaw
with...
was actually the worst.
Oh, sure.
And she responded to it being like, oh, come, like, in such a Carrie way. Come on, lover. Carrie was so endearing. And so she's not even self-aware enough to know, like, that she was just, like, the worst protagonist. And, like, yes, the show was super important, like, talking about sex and, like, different types of women, and for sure. But, like, no one talks enough about how Carrie Bradshaw was the devil.
Yeah, but I think
And that's why we started the show.
That is why we started the show.
And to get justice for David Foster. But
like,
we've actually already gotten it.
To serve up justice for, like, the other way, for Miranda, truly. That is your cross to bear.
My cross to bear in this lifetime is getting justice for Miranda, because growing up, everyone was like, oh, I don't want to be Miranda. She has short hair. And I just, like, followed along because I just
was a follower.
I was a follower, yeah, and like, I just wanted to be cool. But, like, the more I've actually rewatched the show as an adult, it's like, okay, hear me out. Miranda was the only one with an actual job. Like, Samantha, like, was a publicist. Charlotte didn't work. And Carrie, like, wrote 5 words a day and then was wondering why she couldn't pay her rent. You know?
And then spent her money on shoes.
On kitten heels,
but also
yeah.
lived in a townhouse.
Yeah, it made no fucking sense. Then, Miranda was, like, the only one who actually, like, figured her life out, you know? And it's like, they didn't even, I wish they delved more into, like, how hard it was for Miranda to, like, be a single mom at one point and just have like, this weird relationship with Steve, and then also, like, have a burgeoning career. Like, she is a modern woman.
Yeah.
She was, honestly, she was before her time.
How does she do it?
I don't know.
She should have been.
Oh, and her apartment with her Ralph Lauren paint, like, she was truly an icon.
I agree.
And I feel like I get made fun of for, like, wanting to be Miranda, but, like, when I look up to these ladies, like, no offense, none of them are even remotely, like, I don't want to be anything like them, except maybe a little bit like Miranda. And, okay, like...
Or Samantha. Or
and I'll be as skinny as Carrie. I'll take it, but, you know.
And her closet, like,
I mean,
wasn't
I
bad
honest.
all the time.
Actually, it wasn't great. Like, for someone who was, like, so obsessed with fashion, like, the way, like, just, like, the way she talked about fashion, like, she could have had a better closet.
I guess. I don't know. It wasn't for everyone, but she took chances.
Yeah.
She took chances.
For sure. Whatever. Whatever. Sure.
But I think that's the problem with a lot of shows, is that the protagonist, like, sucks so hard. Like,
Terry Hatcher, Desperate Housewives.
Serena Vanderwoodson.
Actually, not Catherine Newton.
No.
No.
Not yet,
But yes, that's a recurring theme that actually us cinephiles have discovered here on the Toast. It's like you fall in love with the show and then you realize like, wait, I hate the main character. They make the worst decisions.
Yeah.
And then I think that's like, I don't know, I've never worked in cinema.
I think that has to be the case in order for the show to work because the protagonist has to like be going through stuff.
Right.
And inevitably being a shitty person.
Yeah, just being a moron.
Yeah, inevitably.
Something to think about.
Okay, next story, some good news for Ashley Graham, who is pregnant and is praised over her naked selfie with stretch marks.
Okay, not to make this about me, but we saw Ashley Graham how many months ago at the Jonas Brothers concert?
Yes.
Like at the beginning of June.
She was totally pregnant, right? Because she like has a full bump. She's been hiding this for a
She
while.
had to have been.
And she wasn't drinking, she was eating funnel cake.
There wasn't really alcohol there.
Yeah, it's true. It was honestly,
It was
a sad party.
It was a dry event.
Yeah.
The 31-year-old model and husband, Justin Irvin, announced on Instagram on
Her husband's
Wednesday.
hot.
Yeah, that she's pregnant with their first child. And on Sunday, she's another one. She's like such a big star, but then she's like low-key married and has a nice life.
It's honestly like, it's the way to be famous. You know, that's what I'm working on. I don't think I'm doing a good job, but I'm working on it.
Good luck.
Thanks.
On Sunday, she shared a naked selfie. The photo is taken below her neck and shows part of her breast, arm, side, stomach, butt, and thigh. It also shows some of her stretch marks. She wrote, same, but a little different. The photo was met with mostly praise. Yeah, because it's not every day you see a photo like this on Instagram, and
I mean,
it should be.
I don't know what time period Ashley Graham's living in, but it's definitely brave season wherever she is, you know, because that was super brave.
Yeah, it was brave. And it just helps move the needle, you know?
That's the thing. Ashley Graham has done so much for the world, you know, and she continues to do it.
And she continues to.
I fucking love her.
I love her
And by
too.
the way, she's gorgeous. Like when I saw her, I was shook. She truly has a presence to her.
Yeah, she like glows. Well, maybe
Yes.
she was glowing because she was pregnant.
Margot,
There it is.
There it is.
you said it, not me.
There
Yeah.
it is.
She totally was pregnant when we saw her. Does it say how many months along she is?
It doesn't, but typically when do you announce? I mean,
You're not supposed to announce before 3 months, but I don't think you really show a big bump 3 months. She looks like 5 months.
you think?
Even if
She
she,
had, like, a-
even if she was 3 or 5, she would have been pregnant.
Right,
Well, no, 3. It's already August.
But it was 2 months ago.
right, in June. She
When
would've
did the
been
album come out?
June 4th. I don't know why I know that.
June 4th.
I'm getting so lit for the Jonas Brothers concert. Like just the content they're putting out on their social channels.
I know.
Like they're doing such a good job of like promoting themselves. Like that moment when they all put on like
Monochromatic.
thank you, suits. Here for it.
All of it. Do we have
Oh.
tickets?
And if I go to a show and there's not a J sister there, like I'm demanding a refund.
There will be. It's
because
New
it's
York.
New York.
We're going.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
take any J sister.
Any J sister.
And you know they keep doing things on their Instagram stories like what song should we play on tour, and like you can respond, and I have literally responded and left a comment on every single one of their social channels begging them to play my music from Camp Rock, and as far as I know it's not a part of the set.
Have you guys seen the set list?
I saw it. I tried not to look at it because it's actually one I don't want to spoil because I know all of their songs, so I don't need to study. And from what they opened with Roller Coaster, so.
Oh my god, by the way, you know what the best part of the tour is? My queen and I recently become a stan of BB Rexa is opening for them.
Wow.
And she's such a great performer.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great show. You guys are going to go?
Yeah.
Are you not?
Are you out
Not?
of town?
Thursday?
It's like Labor Day weekend. Oh.
I'm leaving Friday.
Okay. We'll
Maybe we'll go
confer.
Thursday.
I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my mind when they play Roller Coaster. Like it was fun when we were young, but now we're older.
I know.
And it's still fun.
And they were broken
But I'd go back and ride that roller coaster. Something to think about.
It's going to be great. What throwbacks do they play? Do they play any Camp Rock?
I got it
Yes.
if I do.
They
Shit.
play Fly with
They play all of it.
Bum, 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 bum. Doom, doom, doom. That was good. Yeah. Because that is what the
We should
drums
start
do.
an a cappella band.
Yes, like rock band, but with our mouths. Did you ever play rock band growing up, like with your friends? I feel like you didn't.
Maybe like once, but you know I don't like games.
Okay. Did you play rock band?
Yes.
I feel like there's so many like old school songs that I know only because of rock band, you know? Blitzkrieg Bop.
No, that because of what's the one with
Guitar Hero, same thing.
Hit Me With Your Best Shot. It's the only reason why I know that song.
You didn't know that song before?
Nope.
Also, like, did you and your friends used to fight over who got the drums? Because I was like, obviously the best one. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum.
And we can use the chairs as an instrument.
I think they should really bring back Rock Band. That was really a great game. And so good for like children, like learning musical.
The Spring Musicale.
That's what I'm saying. Directed by Miss Darbus.
Agreed. Well, speaking of children, Good Boys has ended Hollywood's comedy drought. The R-rated movie about foul-mouthed 12-year-olds was number one with about $21 million, the year's largest opening total for an original comedy. This is so exciting, mostly because Jacob Tremblay is at the helm. And
I hope Jacob Tremblay is just like making money, you know?
I think that he is. Universal Pictures and a gaggle of foul-mouthed 12-year-olds proved over the weekend that even the Netflix epoch, comedies, that's definitely not right, comedies can still pack a punch at the box office. If you're wondering why I'm reading on my phone, it's because I ran out of New York Times articles on my iPad.
Okay, like I'm not one to, diss journalism, but like the fact that you have to pay for like certain articles and not others is so dumb.
No, it's like if you read too many, you only get a few free ones a month. So I ran out on my iPad because of everything with Jeffrey Epstein, and so now I have to read it on my phone.
So what you're saying is at the end of the day, it's always Jeffrey Epstein's fault.
That's exactly what
When
I'm
in
saying.
doubt, did you see Jeffrey Epstein for his birthday got 3 12-year-old French girls?
What?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I saw it in the Sun this morning.
French campers?
No.
That's
Terrible.
So terrible.
Vile. Marshmallow. A racist name.
Good Boys, about the R-rated misadventures of 3 preteen buddies, collected an estimated $21 million.
Someone in the comments, Janelle Weatherly, said they played Play My Music at their show in Tampa.
Okay, there's hope.
That's crazy.
So it's not impossible.
I feel as though I might be responsible.
I feel as though they also need to play Send It On. Did you see that it was the 10-year anniversary of Send It On?
No, I didn't.
Disney
I did.
Song for Change?
I remember. That was iconic. Think of where all the Disney stars are now. I feel like they've all just like really bounced back. Like Miley's where she's meant to be. Not with Liam, but whatever. Jonas Brothers, there. Selena, I don't know. Jury's still out.
Jury
Demi.
is still out.
I don't know.
Demi, I don't know. But like I think she's gonna be the next Bachelorette.
I think she's in a good place.
Me too. She definitely is. She has new management with Scooter Braun, so
I think when like things are quiet and
She's
you're not
making
on
money.
tour, like you're probably doing well.
yes, us touring artists, it takes a toll.
It does take a toll. Segue back to this movie.
They played it in Philly too last night. Oh my god, is it a part of the set?
Oh, I just didn't look. It's possible.
I'll die. Like, it's the best song. I just remember listening to that on my iPod Nano, like feeling like I could conquer the world. Because I could.
And you can.
And I did.
Do they play This Is Me and then mash it up with Greatest Showman? Because that's what they should be doing.
Oh,
They should.
I mean, I don't know that they're that in tune, but hopefully.
This movie, Good Boys, looks so good. First
There's
of all,
so many good summer flicks, and it's like I'm so
Finally.
busy.
Finally.
No, but I feel like whenever I need a movie, like during downtime, there's no good movies, and now there's so much that I want to see.
Well, that's not my problem. My problem with going to the movies is like now that it's become like an old school thing to do, like movie theaters are downsizing and now there's only like 30 seats in a theater. And in the summer, it's so fucking hot. It's the only place with air conditioning. So you literally can't see a movie in the summer in the city. It's like trying to get tickets to the Super Bowl.
Sort of, yeah.
I imagine.
Or you have to like plan in advance, which is like I can't tell you that in 5 days I'm going to see a movie.
No, but I do want to see Good Boys because I love to support our local Jacob Tremblay. And it looks like a bomb film. And I'm here for comedies making a comeback. I didn't know comedies were like going through a rough time.
Yeah, comedies, romantic comedies, it's tough times.
Not for Netflix. Margot said she
No.
finished The New Romantic.
I did.
What'd you think?
I thought it was good. I mean, honestly,
Don't spoil the
I know I
ending.
only had 20 minutes left, and like nothing new happened really. But it was good.
The New Romantic is a Netflix original that highlights the ups and downs of being a sugar baby.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, it's
Quite
highly unrealistic
complex.
because this girl gets like teamed up with like a hot, rich, like normal guy who like she actually ends up liking. And that never fucking happens. You get like freaks who like pick their belly buttons.
We'll finish the movie and then hit me up.
Okay. Oh, does he turn out to be a bad guy? Don't tell me. All I'm saying is like the guys that you meet on Seeking Arrangements like never look like the dude from the movie. Like
But
he was
she
hot.
wasn't on Seeking Arrangements. It was like a mutual setup.
Doesn't matter. The guys who need to pay people to hang out with them don't look like that.
But you'll find out why he's paying. Like,
No, don't ruin it.
You don't even find out really.
like sort
What
of.
did you say?
It's that.
Whatever.
Okay, we'll talk about it when you finish it.
Cool.
Everyone should check it out. New Romantics. And also, I've watched a couple Sugar Baby movies on Lifetime Movie Club recently, and I'm really curious, like, is it as big as it seems? Like, on every college campus, just a breeding ground for sugar babies getting their tuition paid?
Yeah.
Well, all I know.
Do you know any?
Oh, do you?
I don't know any sugar babies like myself, but like I feel
wish
like
we were
NYU was a prime breeding ground because it's the highest tuition.
Yeah.
And it's the city, you know,
Yeah.
you got those big city slickers.
Right.
Right, and it's like the cost of living in New York is like you need a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a sugar daddy, Theo.
Yeah, he's making that money. Do you see that ad he posted?
Theo was a partner for Amazon this weekend. He was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, he's not too old.
He got his own dressing room.
He's not too old for Amazon.
Okay, relax.
He got his own dressing room? Mm-hmm. Respect.
Very special.
Okay. Next story. Father of Elizabeth Smart comes out as gay, saying he's leaving the Mormon church. Okay, it's been a while since we
Oh my
talked
God,
about
they were
Elizabeth
Mormon?
Smart. Yes, they were in Utah. They were Mormon AF.
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes it worse.
Mormonism
like
is like
that. What happened to her?
Well, it's it all is kind of tied together because I think they were super involved in the church, and so they used to give back and give opportunities to like people in the community. And the guy who wound up kidnapping her was also someone who was working at their house because
From the church?
family
From
had opened.
church.
I don't know if it was through the church, but their
That philanthropic nature.
that
I really don't know the
philanthropic
story that
nature.
well.
Oh, I know this
I
story.
mean, I could sit down
in
with
and
you
out.
for an hour
If you
and
were
tell me.
born between like 1991, 1994, you know Elizabeth Smart backwards and forwards, which is why this is a real shock.
This story plagued our house. Like, Jackie could not
Oh my
sleep.
God.
She would walk around the house at night, locking every door like a freak, like you were 6.
We had so many doors.
Yeah, we did. Those were the days. And now I have one door, like that's it. It doesn't even lock.
You have a chain.
Yeah, right. This story, like, really, and I'll never stop talking about Elizabeth Smart because I'll never get over like how odd it is that she's famous for having been kidnapped. Like, do you think she has a 9-to-5 job?
Perhaps, but I do think she's quite philanthropic now as well.
Right, but like she has to pay her rent. You think like her book sales I just want to know like
Yes.
what are the financial like logistics of being a former kidnappee who got famous?
I think the book sales are definitely helping that. I don't think she like started to live above her means once she became famous, so she definitely has like a nice nest egg.
Right.
And that allows her to do all the giving back work that
Like,
she
does she
does,
do
which
any-
is like so crazy because if that happened to me, I'd be like, fuck you all.
Yeah, no, totally.
I'm out.
Jackie, do you think that she does Instagram ads? I would love to check.
Her and
Because that's how
Timmy
everyone
Thornton.
makes money. Elizabeth Smart, official.
Ooh,
Wow, she's so pretty.
Is she verified?
Yes.
Good.
Wouldn't you be?
it's the least they could do.
No, totally. I was just curious.
Oh my God, wait. I just stumbled upon the most pertinent caption of Elizabeth Smart.
Do you think she's a toaster?
Let me see. Does she follow me?
She might
doesn't.
be.
Wow, that would be like so crazy.
Just like she's affected us so much, like it's possible that we've affected her.
Ready? This is her most recent caption on a photo. For those who followed me and don't know why, how, or who I am, my name is Elizabeth Smart. Most people remember me from when I was 14 years old and was kidnapped from my bed at knife point in the middle of the night. I was held captive. Wait, she was 14. That's like old. Like you remember everything. You
Yeah.
know? I was held captive for the next 9 months. Where I was, oh my God, raped, tortured, and abused. One of the greatest miracles happened in my life when I was rescued by the police because everyday people saw something not quite right and reported it. Over the last 16 years, I've moved on to become an advocate for survivors, specifically of kidnapping and sexual violence in whatever form that I may be. I haven't continued to work and can challenge and change the mentality that many victims face. Why did you go on the blind date? Why didn't you scream? Why didn't you fight back, etc.? I try to focus on prevention education, but to those victims out there, I want them to know that they are not alone and have nothing to be ashamed of. It doesn't matter if they are raped by an intimate partner or a stranger. It is never okay, and rape is rape. There's never a situation that makes rape acceptable or less abhorrent. I will continue to do my best to create change. My personal life centers around my husband and my 3 children, Chloe, James, and Olivia. I love horses, dogs, running, and a really good cake. Me too, Elizabeth Smart. Wow, honestly, icon.
I stand.
I stan. Elizabeth Stan.
Like, good for what? She's,
Wait, oh my God, her fam is so fucking cute.
Can I see?
So, her dad left the Mormon church, but this dress is just giving me Mormon vibes.
I don't think that she has. I think she's super involved in Brigham Young University.
Is that a Mormon school?
It's a Mormon college.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Why do you know that?
I just am always thinking about Brigham Young because I can never remember his name, but it's always at the tip of my tongue. So I'm glad that I remembered today. But because I saw Book of Mormon. So there was like Joseph Smith, but then like when he died, it was Brigham Young.
Me and Marco were just on the road somewhere, and we drove past the birthplace of Joseph A. Smith.
Exciting.
Yeah. And I said, Marco, Joseph Smith. And you're like, who's that?
Have you seen Book of Mormon?
Wait,
Yeah.
maybe it was Ben.
It was not me.
I think it was
Maybe
you.
when you were driving to Vermont. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yes.
because it was upstate New York.
I'm
Yeah.
so
and
glad I
all
have
went
you guys. I
down.
can't remember anything.
Yeah.
I like need to be put in hospice. Like I literally need an aide. It's so embarrassing.
You have us.
We're your
Totally.
aides.
That's what this is.
That's what this show is. Trying to like rejigger my memory.
Yeah. We're doing a good job.
Thank you, Margo. Yes, it was Ben.
Well, Ed Smart, the father of kidnapping survivor Elizabeth Smart, has revealed he's gay. He came out in an emotional letter to friends and family via Facebook Messenger, announcing that he would be leaving his wife Lois and the Mormon Church. Quote, I have recently acknowledged to myself and my family that I am gay. The decision to be honest and truthful about my orientation comes with its own set of challenges, but at the same time, it is a huge relief.
I'm so happy for him. I really am. But like, why Facebook Messenger?
I was thinking the same thing.
Such a weird platform, especially for an older gentleman. You know,
You know what,
use
like,
email.
Did he
Write it.
chat? Did he
Slack?
send it one-to-one or like
A mass group, I don't
chat?
know.
And then do people like comment below?
I don't want to take away from the story because I really am like so happy for him. But like they have endured so much like treacherousness in their lives. Like they just deserve peace. But I'm hung up on the Facebook Messenger of it all.
I
Yeah.
agree. Maybe he tried to make it his status. And then he
Maybe he
wound
got
up-
confused, like dads on the internet, you know? Huh?
Yeah. Facebook Messenger is super confusing.
It actually is with those stupid GIFs and like animated.
And
they have the worst emojis.
And that is a separate
And
app.
it's a separate app, so maybe he thought he was going to Facebook, putting in a status, but instead he just sent it to someone who sent it to NBC News.
No, totally. That's what happened.
That is so upsetting.
Well, if he came out like in his private life, how did NBC News get it?
I don't know, they obtained it. They snatched it. They were the snatchler.
If somebody like, that's a total breach of privacy. Not cool.
Yeah. Unless it was a state. I mean, we don't know. Facebook Messenger, there's so many questions.
Yeah, right. Like I'm left with so many questions that need answers because of the Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. Well, seems like a happy man. I'm
You
happy
look cute
for him.
today.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank
You're
you.
Like,
I was hoping you were gonna say it back.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to ingest the compliment and like explain why I look cute, and I forget to say it back.
Oh, you know that's so funny because I've actually recently learned that like I cannot take a compliment. Like, okay, compliment my shirt.
Wow, I love your shirt.
Oh, thanks. I just like pulled it out of the trash. Like I always like downplay what I have. Like compliment me on something.
Cool earrings.
Oh, thanks. They were like $2 on mine. You know, like I always
No,
like
I do the same thing.
I always like lower. I don't know what it is. It's like, am I insecure? Like anytime someone compliments something, I'm like, or like tell me I look skinny.
You look so thin.
Oh my God, really? I like literally haven't stopped eating. You know, like I always downplay like the compliment.
You're like knocking yourself down. I think it's actually a humility thing. Where,
I think so too.
you know, you're just so humble.
Totally.
But you do look really cute.
Thanks.
So
So yeah.
accept the compliment.
I've been
Thank
just really
you.
trying to like
Diversify the wardrobe.
right, and it's super hard.
It's super hard. I've been trying
And because
to do
we
it
go
as well.
on air every day, like, I mean, I know I did wear this jacket like 1 week ago, and this dress also 1 week ago, and these shoes also 1 week ago, but like separately, it's super hard. Like, I need a constant revolving door of clothing.
You really do, and that's why I love Frank and Oak.
Yes, me too. I'm always looking to discover those key pieces of clothing that are versatile, comfortable, and stylish. And on top of that, I've been trying to find clothes that don't have a huge impact on the environment. But shopping for myself can be such a pain, truly. Like, I know I'm a girl and I'm like supposed to like shopping, but I'm not gonna lie, like, I hate it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fucking treacherous.
So you can subscribe to the Style Plan by Frank and Oak. It's a subscription box for men and women curated by a combination of amazing stylists and AI. Ooh, how retro. The process is so simple. Actually, the opposite of retro.
Opposite of retro.
What's the opposite of retro? How modern.
Yeah. How progressive.
How futuristic. The process is very simple. You tell them a little bit about yourself by taking a style quiz, preview your monthly subscription box, and then you can take 7 days to decide what you love and send back what you don't want.
We love a quiz.
Yes, you did the subscription.
I did the subscription. I took the quiz. So you tell them what you like, what you don't like. You even tell them like what kind of colors you you don't like to wear, what you do like to wear, what patterns you would never wear.
Black.
Exactly. Then like the next day they send you a preview of your box where you can like pick items that you actually want to receive and ones that like are not for you, and then they learn about you along the way. So I picked my box, got my box, and I got like the cutest stuff that is different from what I would normally buy because I'm able to like take some chances because like Frank and Oak are shopping for me.
That's true.
So it's exciting.
That's very interesting. To discover what your wardrobe has been missing, try Style Plan by Frank and Oak, completely risk-free. Go to frankandoak.com/toast and you'll get $25 off your first subscription box. That's frankandoak.com/toast for $25 off your first subscription box. I said burp, sorry.
You sound like you're gonna cry.
frankandoak.com, frankandoak.com/toast, $25 off your first subscription box.
I really love it. Can't recommend
Sign
it enough.
on, look amazing.
Hey. Okay, fifth and final story is definitely some biz news, and I'm curious to get your take on it because
Sorry, business news, let me get my jacket together.
yes, let me sit up straight. Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers is under fire for selling diets to children
I heard
as
this.
young as 8. Weight Watchers introduced Kurbo with a K by WW, which is their rebrand, for adolescents aged 8 to 17. WW is facing back. WW takes longer to say than Weight Watchers.
No, and this makes no sense because they rebranded to WW as like in an effort to like be more politically correct, and then they're out here like selling diets for children.
WW is facing backlash over the new app. Some nutritionists worry Kurbo could promote unhealthy relationships with food for children. Okay.
So I'm really perplexed because like as someone who, you know, has been fat, has been skinny, is like somewhere in the middle right now, I think that diets are not bad. And there's like a war on diets now. Like diet is like, you can't say that word anymore. It's like the D word. And I'm not here for that. But like releasing a diet plan like geared for kids, like if a kid is fat, like he'll be fine, you know?
Sort of, but obesity is a big problem in this country. 1 in 5 young people are obese. And so
I know, but like a
they
corporate company...
They too need the tools that adults
Yes, but a
use.
corporate company like making a diet plan like geared towards kids just seems weird. Like when kids are 8 or 10 and they're chubby, like they're gonna be fine.
Maybe, but maybe not. And sometimes you really do need the tools, and you need to like learn what a calorie is. And it's educational. Like I have so many friends who
if they need to learn, like the parents should teach them.
yes, but the parents aren't teaching them. Parents are letting them eat.
Well, so if the parent's not going to sign them up for this anyway, you know?
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, they're gonna like find it in the app store.
Right? No, it's so silly. Like, and as a brand that's like forward facing and like is obviously very in tune with like what the current like climate is, because they changed their names to WW just so they didn't like, you know, the word weight is like triggering or something. Like they're obviously very aware of like of how they're being perceived, and this just seems like they definitely could have avoided this majorly.
So what, they should do nothing for the children? What about the children?
I'm sorry, like at some point it's like, I didn't see that TV show, but the one on Netflix who's like parents keep letting their kids get abducted.
Yes, abducted and
It's like,
fried.
where are the parents? Like at some point it's like, why is it Oprah's problem to make sure kids aren't getting fat? Like where are their parents?
Okay, but the parents aren't doing something.
So it's not Oprah's problem. She's enough on her plate.
I don't know. I don't think it's the worst idea. I understand the fear that getting like kids, you know, so like once you start calorie counting, like that's the rest of your life. Enjoy.
Yeah,
11 make
Jackie,
a wish that the obesity rate goes down.
Is the
America.
point of the program to educate the children or to educate the parents?
The children.
I don't like it. It's weird.
But you also have to like start learning these habits at a young age, because when you're older, like you're set in your ways, and maybe the children have a chance.
Well, you know, I feel like maybe we have an interesting take on this, because we did go to fat camp where at a very young age when like, oh, it's 11:11. Did you say that already?
I wish that the obesity rate in the country would go down.
Okay, I wish for that too, but like just something like a little closer to, you know, I would love like a Netflix special or like to be on an episode of Comedians in Cars. And obviously health, wealth, and happiness for my entire family and extended
Amen.
family and everyone in this room.
And so it is.
So we have definitely an interesting perspective because we went to fat camp, and you know, I've always said like fat camp was great, such great memories, like first boyfriend, but I don't think it was so great, you know, like for my mental state, like just being inundated with like food and dieting at like such a young age, and I maybe I'm just being, you know, lazy, but I attribute a lot of my weight gain to that. So I think maybe we take an interesting, you know, perspective on it.
I feel as though we're kind of the experts on the matter, because we both had the same upbringing, but it's like a nature versus nurture thing, where I was the complete opposite, where it was like I was always going to be like on top of what, like, because I grew up with a slow metabolism while you had a fast one. It's like
Who would have thunk?
I needed to learn like how to diet, and I did at camp, but like an app would do the same thing.
Right, but don't you think like if a kid is 9 years old and he's or she is like being like forced to like count calories or just like think of food as like a weird, like when you're a kid, you should just think of food as like something you eat to like live, you know, like fuel.
100% in a perfect world.
And it's like unhealthy to like just have those, like have a toxic relationship with food.
I agree, but they're like for an obese child, their relationship with food is already toxic in another way.
That's true, but I'm not talking about obese. I'm just talking about like chubby, like kids are chubby.
Okay, but we're talking about the obesity. Also, like what qualifies as obese? Because I'm pretty sure like one time I went to the doctor, I was probably like 10 pounds more than I am now, and they told me I was obese.
Well, that's crazy, because if you're obese,
like
I should be dead. Like
no, but it was just like I'm like 10 pounds heavier.
Do you remember when we were in
and
Nashville?
And that's obesity.
Do you remember when we were in Nashville and we were going somewhere and you could walk through music?
Were you about to say, do you remember when we were in Nashville and we were obese?
Oh, actually, me and Jackie like have this picture of the two of us like at our absolute fattest that like this picture like haunts me. Like if this picture ever made it to the internet, I would die. But that's not what I was saying. We were going somewhere and we could walk through the Music City Museum, and we were walking through the convention center, and it was Obesity Week, which is like, we couldn't tell if it was like all the obese people getting together or it was like skinny people like, talking about.
Are we celebrating obesity or are we combating it?
It was just such an odd name for the event, because I'm pretty sure it was like getting rid of obesity, but it really sounded like, it just sounded like obese people getting together.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
We still don't know, but we were there. And
and we should have been, because we were so fucking fat.
Maybe one day we'll share that picture, but probably
no, never.
Never. When you said this
Who's
to
it
me,
more embarrassing for? Like, I think me.
I think me. I think it might be me.
It's the worst. Like, we should blow that picture up and put it on our fridges, you know?
Yeah.
And our snack cabinets and our pantries.
That whole trip.
And the local Dwayne Reed.
That was a big trip for us.
If I could just somehow get like one of the employees at my Dwayne Reed, because every time I walk Theo, I like go in and buy a Hershey bar. If I could get one of the employees to just like stand at the front door with that huge picture of me, like, I think that would work. My local Dwayne Reed is like slowly becoming like last night. I bought like Kraft mac and cheese and a Hershey bar. Like I was just so hungry. When I walk Theo, I'm like, I burn the calories. Like I could do it.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Is that what you have for dinner though?
Well, no, I had the shirtless man
chicken.
food.
The chicken. Oh my god, I had such good pasta for dinner last night.
From where?
From where?
From Serafina.
Oh.
And then
The
I had
best pasta.
2 WW bars because
You
that
have
was the
WW bars?
I do. I got them in my grocery delivery.
Like
they're pretty
ice
good.
cream bars?
Except they like sort of melted, and then I put
Oh,
them
their
back.
ice cream bars are
Oh.
fucking delicious.
Yeah, they were really, really
I
good.
did Weight Watchers, and it was actually the only diet I've ever had. I'm sorry, I did WW, and it was the only diet I ever really had success with. And eventually, it stopped working because like those fucking dessert bars, like 4 points each, like the one that's like a mock Snickers, it's so delicious. Like I literally just ate the whole box.
Yeah, and it's like you can have 60 points a day, and if a point is a point, then like, can't I just have 12 ice cream bars?
Yeah.
Technically, sure.
Yeah, but I don't think that would necessarily keep you full.
No.
Like that's actually the
No, but yeah,
the
it's actually
diet
an
of Weight
accomplishment.
Watchers is actually really important. It's like you could have 12 ice cream bars, or you could have 65 salads. You know, it's like it's actually an important, valuable lesson.
Right, which kids could stand to learn
Yeah.
in the new app, Kerbo with a K. Use code TOAST. No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding.
Maybe one day.
Anyways, agree to disagree.
Sure. It's nice when we disagree because it never happens.
Yeah, it's nice to have some civil discourse
Yeah.
in the room.
There's something truly underrated about civil discourse, and in this day and age, no one is civilly discoursing, and I'm here like that is my mission in this world. It's like it's okay. Like I really feel actually really strongly about it. Like nobody agrees on anything, and it's like that's fine, but like why can't you just talk about it like human beings?
Why can't we be civil?
It's like from Real Housewives to politics. Like just talk it out.
I totally agree. Unless you're an LVP stan. In which
Yeah,
case,
then get the fuck out.
Get out.
Or an anti-vaxxer. Like honestly, I'm sorry, I have no time for you, and I don't want to hear what you have to say because you're dumb.
Okay. Very fair. Okay.
But other than that, I'm like super civil.
Those are the Fast 5 stories. We have a lot of TV to recap.
Southern Charm, Real Housewives of Orange County.
Let's start with Real Housewives of Orange County.
Because it was actually, I mean, the pig emoji video heard around the world is so. Okay, I have a problem because I firmly am on the side of history where it's like you cannot talk about someone else's appearance. Like you are trash if you call a woman a pig, you call her fat. Like as I always say, there's a special place in hell for men who call women fat, or also women who call women fat.
People who call women fat.
But Vicky Gunvalson saying last season that Kelly Dodd does coke and has now continues to say it, she has removed the line. You know,
I agree.
like you can't now say like, how dare you say something about my looks? Like you made it okay for us to say crazy things about each other. So you cannot. She has actually no right to be mad at Kelly, even though I don't think what Kelly said was right. Vicky made it okay for that.
Like what Kelly said was insulting. What Vicky said could land her in jail.
Yeah.
And I feel like that goes back to when Vicky said that David beats Shannon.
Yep.
And it's like the exact same thing. And so she doesn't learn her lesson where it's like there are things that you can say that are just mean, and then there are things that you can say that are
defamatory,
damaging, and you can't take it back. It's like a toothpaste squirted out of the bottle.
right?
Can't
actually,
put it back in.
you know, you actually can. I don't agree with that
No,
statement
if
because if
you-
you squeeze it again. And then you put the nozzle by that toothpaste that's out,
No.
and then you open it, it does suck it back
No,
in.
you're talking about the littlest amount. Say you press it down, all goes shooting out. You can't get that back in.
It depends, you know, how determined you are. Okay, I totally agree with what you're saying, and it was just frustrating to watch. And now it's just crazy. I wish the Housewives was like a little bit more in real time because right now, like Kelly is going at it
On
with
a
Tamra and
rampage.
Shannon, like, and it seems like they're on good terms now. So it's just confusing.
And it looks like that she broke up with her man.
She did, but they like had a bunch of like Instagram posts to each other, like with just saying how much respect they had for one another and how she really enjoyed their time together. It was just
It's like a Caitlyn Carter
it's-
situation.
Yeah, it's like the weirdest public breakup that like they keep doing posts about each other.
Yeah, well, even
But
the
also, wait,
relationship.
sorry. The scene where they did a flashback where they wanted to go in business together, like portable skincare for teens. Like that is. I'm not an entrepreneur, and I've never been on Shark Tank, but I do have to say I have a good eye for these things, and that was the worst idea for a product I've
For
ever
like
heard.
teens who are children of divorce, so that when they go to their dad's house, their skin
It's so
can
specific
stay
because it's
clear.
like, okay, so our only customers are children. But then of those children, it has to be those who have divorced parents.
So 50%, that's the
Right.
divorce rate.
But then of those divorced parents, like the only kids who really like, you know, use skincare are girls. So that's already another 50%. Then they have to give a shit enough about their skin to buy the product. Like by the time
Yeah,
it whittles
they
down.
have to have a mom who's committed to skincare
Right.
and a dad who's not.
Right. So then by the time they whittle it down to like their entire audience, it's literally just Jolie. Oh my, but actually low-key felt so bad for Jolie when she was,
I love
when she was going
Jolie.
through her DMs.
Oh my, I
So
love
sad.
her. And but she's so wise. I can't believe that she's only 12. Like that continues to amaze me.
Yeah. And always.
But when they were going into business together, it's already, you shouldn't be going into business with someone a few months into your relationship.
The whole thing smelled
And so
like
that's
fish.
why probably, even though they're broken up, they're being respectful because now, like, they're in business.
Yeah.
And you just don't mix business with pleasure.
No, Jackie.
You just don't.
I hear you, and I totally agree. And the whole thing was really weird. And the first episode, I was like, oh my God, I love him. Like, she should be dating a plastic surgeon in Orange County. Like, perfect housewife, real plastic surgeon relationship, everything. Then I saw them talking about going to business together, and I'm like, this relationship is doomed.
And they, like, keep shooting in his office, and it's just...
With his monogrammed doctor's jacket?
Yeah, and it's got usury written all over it. However, Shannon's facelift looks amazing.
Okay, Shannon looks so good.
I've never really understood or seen, I think facelifts are like super dramatic and, you know, only to be done like in the most dire of circumstances, but this was a mini facelift and
it was like outpatient, right?
I think I need a facelift now.
No, I mean, I already got one. She looks so good.
She looks so good. He did great work and for that I'm glad for him that he has good advertising.
And I like Shannon so much, like her personality. Like I enjoy even her mundane scenes, like her sending her daughter off to prom. Like I was living for it, her embarrassing her daughter.
Her dress was really short though.
Oh my God, I know. It's like usually like when, oh my God, like I hate to harken back to Chrisley, but like in so many episodes of Chrisley, like Savannah came in like a dress to the floor and Todd is like, that dress is so short. And it's like, not. But in this scene in particular, like that dress was like up that girl's vagina, and I cannot believe her mom let her leave the house like that.
I know, but I think she's just super tall, and her mom didn't want to make her feel bad.
Yeah, and like she was so proud of her legs, and like she had such confidence at such a young age. Like you don't want to dim that confidence.
No, and like anything she would have said in that situation, like could have
been
ruined her
damaging
for life.
You know, and Shannon's such a good mom, and like her kids are really just like good kids. And you can always tell like a lot about a housewife by their kids, because like who taught us that? Margaret Josephs. She said she hates Danielle Staub, but her kids are amazing. Like they're super smart, well-spoken girls, and it says a lot about Danielle. And that's how I feel about Kelly Dodd. Like her kid is amazing, and like super self-sufficient and like funny, and say what you want about Kelly Dodd, but she's a great fucking mom.
Agreed, and I still like her right now on the show. Like, I don't know what goes down between her and Tamara was here last week, and even she didn't know what goes down. So jury's out on where I will land on that situation. But I still like Kelly and
I like Bronwyn. That scene where like she was in the lingerie was like really cringy and stupid.
But I feel like that's like a hazing ritual for a new housewife.
Tamara and Eddie in the bathtub.
You have to do one cringeworthy scene with your partner to prove that you have what it takes.
And by the way, her husband was fully on board. You know,
yeah,
he was like he's ready. He wants his wife to be like a full-time housewife.
But her energy was really great, and it's like she came into Tamara's house, and I feel as though Tamara's not always like the nicest to the new girls.
Neither is Shannon.
Nor does she need to be. And they just like immediately liked her, and I was like, what is it about her? It's not like there are tons of like pretty young sweet things that come through and they don't like them, but there's something about her that's like super welcoming, and I just think she's going to be a great asset. And even when Tamara was on Watch What Happens Live last week, she was like thanking Andy for bringing Bronwyn into her life.
Oh wow,
yeah.
That never happens. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that she met Shannon first, and Shannon just like they were drinking, so Shannon automatically liked her, and it made it easier for everyone to like her because Shannon has always like not really been into the new people.
But I think also she met Shannon at the right time because Shannon's her best Shannon right now, her best Shannon self.
Yeah,
and maybe a year ago she wouldn't have liked Bronwyn because it was like, you know, she didn't like herself.
It's a very interesting call.
Yeah.
Okay, so other than that, it looks like it's gonna be a jolly good season.
It really does. It's off to a great start.
And like the Vicky stands on Twitter are just like dying that they're like petitioning, like they're not gonna watch. And like honestly, I don't care. Like I'm so over Vicky.
They can go hang out with the LVP stands. And from what I hear, Vicky's integral to the season, so she'll definitely be back next year. Like sometimes you just you need to work for it.
You need a break.
Yeah.
In the words of Ross Geller, we were on a break.
It's also crazy that we just did a whole Orange County recap for about 8 minutes and didn't mention Emily and Gina.
Oh my God, you know what?
They're like on their own show.
Emily's life is so sad. Like, and actually watching it like makes me depressed.
No, but Gina's is pretty sad too.
Actually, I think Gina's is sad.
Like with the DUI, like now it's actually
You want to know
sad.
why? Because Emily like acknowledges her hardships. She's like, you know, my relationship with my husband is not great right now. Like I'm really overwhelmed with the kids and my practice. Like she acknowledges, but like Gina's like trying to act like it's all fine when like it's so not fine. And like that's what makes it sadder.
Yeah, and
at least she's not in the casita. Like honestly, that casita like made me want to cry.
Yeah, and that with them like saying casita as if it was like the best new idea in parenting. Gwyneth Paltrow approved.
Right? No, like them saying casita and like let's call it what it was, a shack. You know, a shed.
Yeah.
So I'm glad she's out of the casita and that her new house is fine.
Also,
the hair,
the testimonials that she's been doing. She has a new face.
Yeah, she looks much better in the testimonials than she does.
I disagree. I don't know what she did. Maybe she lightened her hair a lot now. She's platinum blonde.
The light hair is so terrible.
But maybe that's why she looks so different. But it also looks like she has a new fotch.
Maybe she went to
Kelly's boyfriend. Maybe.
Emily's life is so sad. Like that dinner party where like she was waiting for him with the cake and he didn't come with the cake, and she's like, all right, Shane, whatever. Like, I actually wanted to sob in my bed. Like, it was terrible.
No, and it's like she's with his parents. Like,
Awful.
Awful.
Oh my God, she does so much. I actually really like her, and I want her to get away from Gina because Gina's like a toxic disease.
She
like,
needs to get in the mix, but she has so much going on at home that I don't know that she could be a Trace Amiga.
Right, and I forgot that like she doesn't really get along with Shannon, and Shannon I guess blocked her on Instagram. So that's kind of like a roadblock. But I really want Emily to like join the group because Gina is just like not cutting it for me. And like if Gina doesn't come back, I'll be fine. But I actually like Emily, and I think she has potential to be a good housewife. But she's getting sidetracked by like her mean husband and her terrible best friend Gina.
I don't know. I don't mind Gina and I don't mind Emily, but I don't love them. Like,
no, I really mind
Gina. They just
Gina.
don't inspire anything within me.
No, but actually, I love Emily's house.
Emily's house.
And her mom's house. Yeah, they live in like the cutest neighborhood.
Oh, that's cute.
I also really love Tamara's new house. It's like my goals. Two staircases.
Yeah, it's the number
Rich.
one house in the OC right now, I think.
I think so too.
Exciting for them.
Actually, it's that super tough competition with Casita.
Well, Casita's not out anymore, so
That's true.
Winner by default.
Southern Charm.
Season finale.
It was like super boring until the last 5 minutes, and I was like really annoyed the whole time, like watching Shep and Craig be like such morons and assholes. And this is my cross to bear when watching reality TV, is like getting to know people off TV and then watching them on TV. It's like I wanted to punch Shep in the face, but like I actually really like him. You know?
You had a case of Teddy Mellencamp syndrome.
I had a case of Leanne Locken syndrome.
Yeah.
It's tough.
No, I feel that way about Shep right now. Like, he's got a lot of splaining to do at the reunion. This wasn't his best moment in the season, but I do still really like him, and I'm ready to forgive. But he must apologize because the threesome thing was awful.
No, and I think in the middle of the night, Craig realized, like, he was being used in this, like, I don't know how he didn't realize it sooner, but I think he realized, like, he was like involved in this plan to like try and like hurt Madison and Austin, and that's not what he planned to do, and he felt really bad because I don't think Craig is a bad guy. I just think he's like a little like silly, you know?
Yeah. No, and he's been a really good guy this season, and honestly, he's always picking the right fights.
Oh my God,
except for Austin and Madison.
Can we talk about Catherine's look? She looked amazing.
At the party?
Yeah, with the big red jacket and then like her butt hanging out.
Yeah, she did look amazing.
She looked amazing.
And she looks amazing at the reunion in previews, I think.
Is her hair parted down the middle?
Yeah, it's parted the way it was when she showed up to your party.
Yes, when she showed up to my party, I couldn't believe her hair was parted down the middle because she's always done this like huge side part, which is cool, but it's just not my style. And I just know the potential her hair could be like with a middle part, and it looked so good. I'm glad that she did it at the reunion.
Yeah, I'm really happy for her, like getting her life back.
I've been like a little, on and off with Danny, but when Danny came out to console Madison before Madison even apologized, like that was really nice.
It was.
She didn't have to do that.
It was really nice.
She's like women supporting women. And you know who I wish, who I was a little annoyed with?
Cameron?
Yes.
Because she was laughing?
No, and like for the entire series, she has like claimed herself to be like kind of the moral compass. Like she determines what side. Like she's almost like a Patricia. She's like a mini Patricia. People listen to her. And
she's a narrator.
She's a narrator.
Essentially, she's going to be the voice of reason.
She's in charge of the narrative. That's what a narrator does. And she just like was really not taking a side and like laughing with the girls from the threesome, and like I don't know, I just think like she was really being super immature about it, and it's like, oh, now you decide to take a back seat on everything when like you ruined Catherine's life.
Yeah, I agree. Or at the very least, like, oh, Shep brought the girls from the threesome, like don't laugh and encourage him and to think it's funny.
Yeah, it was pissing me off.
I thought the same thing. And then also later in the night, like she sits down with him and scolds him, but it's like you already endorsed it.
Yeah, also, like, Catherine had the greatest reaction. When Catherine's, like, so not involved in that drama, but then when she heard that Shep brought the two girls, she literally was like, Shep, you're a dick. Like, that's how a normal person would respond.
100%.
I love Catherine.
And the more things that happen, like, the more my ship is coming in for Austin and Madison.
Oh my God, same. And when we saw them together at my party, they said they were together, but then on Watch What Happens Live, like, 2 nights ago, he said that they weren't. So, I don't really know, but I need to talk about Watch What Happens Live last night. Did you watch?
No, because I was watching The Society.
50 Cent and Kate Upton. First of all, like, any excuse to see Kate Upton on my screen, like, living for it. And
what is she promoting?
She's like doing this new strong woman workout that like I didn't really care about, but like I was just like loving to see her on my screen, and then 50 Cent was on, and I wasn't really excited to see 50 Cent, and then I remembered the Fofty of it all, and Andy made the whole episode about Fofty. Like it was so funny, and actually some really interesting tidbits of information.
Hit me.
1, he has not spoken to Randall and Lala since the whole debacle. Like they are actually fighting. 2, he's not going to their wedding anymore, even though he was going to be a groomsman. 3, he actually didn't loan Randall money outright and then like ask for it back. They were involved in a business deal where Randall like owed the business $1.3 million and never paid it back. So it wasn't like an outright, like Randall needed the money, you know? He's fine.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. It was upsetting though because I really, for Lala's sake, like wanted 50 Cent to be at her wedding.
Yeah, to be like a groomsman alongside Jax Taylor.
Yeah.
50 and Jax.
But also, like, really 50 Cent was just, like, dropping bombs. Like, he doesn't give a shit. Ready? He was saying one time he went in Atlanta to a strip club with Bow Wow, and Bow Wow didn't have any money, so, like, you know, he just, like, handed over, like, a couple G's in singles, and I guess Bow Wow, like, didn't use it and took it home with him, and then was on Instagram, like, flexing with the money.
Stop.
So they all, like, called him out. It's like, that's my fucking money. Give it back.
Wait, that is so sad. That's almost as cringy as, remember him in the private plane? Where he posted on Instagram like a picture of him in front of a private plane and was like, you know, like traveling.
Flexing.
And someone was like sitting next to him and was like, you're on my flight. Like commercial.
Yep,
Coach.
I remember that. Also, another crazy thing 50 Cent said, and I think when Andy asked it, I don't think 50 Cent was happy. Andy said, is it true or false that you one time paid Anna Wintour $25,000 for a ticket to the Met Ball? And he said, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like, the way the question was phrased is unfair. It's like, you don't pay Anna Wintour like a Venmo, you know? It's like you buy a ticket to an affair.
table.
Yeah.
That's not as embarrassing. Like,
No, but
you
the way
buy
it was
a table.
phrased-
It's a charity. It's for the museum.
It's for the museum. It's for the children.
For the children.
Okay, now let's talk about the society.
Okay. But so what did Kate Upton talk about on the show?
Oh, you know, she was getting asked like a lot of salacious questions, and if she didn't do it, she would have to like show off one of her new workout moves, and like she kept showing off her workout moves because she was like, "What
it's
designer?"
like either answer this question or promote what you're here to promote.
Right. She said a designer once told her like she had way too much personality to ever really make it, and then Andy was like, "Which designer?" And she wouldn't say. So it's like, who cares? She was being like a little tight-lipped, but she does watch all Bravo. She watches Beverly Hills. She was like, she did say something that really annoyed me because she was talking about Doggate. She was like, I just wish more people would talk about like the fact that like Dorit gave up her dog, like which is just like the thinnest argument. I was really not liking, which makes me think she might be an LVP stan.
And it also makes me think like she didn't watch the reunion where Dorit explains what she did and why she did it, and it makes complete sense.
Yeah, no, it was really frustrating.
That's frustrating.
She's also a Potomac stan.
Cute. I've heard really great things. It's just like it's such an undertaking.
I watch Potomac when it's on. I don't keep up with it, but I definitely feel like I'm getting there. I might actually be starting to watch it week to week because it's fucking good. And the fact that they have footage with one of their camera people who claims that girl Ashley's husband Michael touched him, like it's so crazy.
That's crazy.
It's a crazy time.
The society before we wrap.
So Margaret made me watch a show on Netflix, and I didn't know what it was about. And like all these kids get on a bus, and I didn't know what the point was. I thought it was going to be like a Riverdale like high school drama, which I was here for.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna like go to the mountains and like drama ensues.
Yeah, no, it's like who's sleeping with who. But then all of a sudden the buses turn around, and it's like this parallel universe where all their parents are gone, and it is the most amazing show. First of all, I just love it's like a dystopia. It's like a really interesting concept for a show. Like what happens? It's like the real world when people stop being polite. You know
and
what I mean?
start getting real.
It's like it's just such an interesting concept for a show where it's like a Lord of the Flies, but it's still kind of civilization. Like they have houses and running water. It's super interesting.
Yeah, and like someone's keeping the lights on.
Right, and they don't know if the electricity's ever going to run out or if the water's going to run out. But
At
I
this
feel like
point,
it's not.
I don't think that it's
They
going
can all
to.
move back into their own houses.
Yeah, that was like I understood why
Cassandra.
Allie was doing what she was doing.
Cassandra.
But that was like a really tight squeeze.
After 6 months,
5 to a room when
yes.
you all have homes.
After 6 months, I think they could have realized and they could have like let up on that. But in the first week, it was definitely a good idea.
Yeah. Also, people shouldn't be alone at the time.
Yeah, no, and the housing thing I didn't agree with, but all the other rules that what's her last name, sisters?
Do we ever get their last name?
Yes. I can't remember.
Is it Pembroke?
No.
No.
I'm trying to imagine their
It's
names
kind
on the
of-
board.
Me too. That's what I'm thinking.
It's kind of hard to remember everyone's names on the show.
Oh my God,
It took me forever.
The hardest time. They were like, "Where's Kelly?" I'm like, "Who the fuck is Kelly?"
Right, and she doesn't look like a Kelly. That's the problem.
No, not at all.
No one like feels like their name.
Yeah, Catherine Newton does not look like an
And the guy who's
Allen.
now addicted to pills can't remember his name.
Harry.
I
can
He's
remember.
a Tyler.
No.
He's a fucking
No,
Tyler.
he
You
looks
guys,
like a Harry.
Really quickly, did you see Harry Styles at the Ariana Grande concert in London, like dancing it up with Millie Bobby Brown?
Yeah. I don't
No.
think that means that they're dating. She's so young.
Mason Ramsey is going to be so
There's
upset.
something really weird about Millie Bobby Brown where it's like all the men in the world forget that she's 12 years old and like has braces and they like want to have sex with her. It's so weird.
I think that they're just friends. Like I really wouldn't read too much
How many
into it.
older men is she got to be friends with? That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
How many older men
I
are
just
going to be
stand
friends
Harry
with her?
Styles, so like
I stand Harry Styles,
refuse
and I'm
to
not.
believe.
And by the way, I don't think he's into her. I just think he was being polite, but like, it's just something to think about.
Pressman.
Allie and Cassandra Pressman. Thank you.
That wasn't as satisfying as I needed it to be.
No.
But in the very last episode, like I was having a hard time with the show because it was like a little slow. It's like my focus is like what's going on here, whereas like the focus of the show was like how do we make life livable here, which is obviously less interesting because I just want to know how they got there. So in the very last scene, when like homegirl, by the way, the best part is the mom is Linda from Blue Bloods. I know you don't watch, but like she just got killed off Blue Bloods, and like I'm so glad she found work, you know?
No, literally, it's jarring.
I think about her. I'm like worried about her.
Okay, but it was like that's 20 seconds at the end.
She had 2 episodes. She got more than all the other parents.
That's true.
That's true. Whose mom is she?
Pressman.
Pressman, and she's the mayor.
No, she was just doing like a
I need
reading.
to watch the first episode again to
Me too.
understand. But I saw the bus driver in all of the pictures.
Me
and like,
too.
Me too.
How
Oh
did
my
they
God.
fucking miss him when they were looking at pictures of Cassandra for her funeral?
I mean, 100 times they showed these photos, and this is the first thing I saw.
You know who was pissing me off like the entire season, but then really towards the end was the pregnant girl. Like I felt for you, like you're gonna have the first baby in this new world, but like stop being such a bitch to the dude who's literally being so fucking nice to you when he has no reason to be.
Right.
Yeah. And you're ruining his life. Like he finally found love with literally
And
the
the
only
best-
other gay person.
No, and the best guy in town.
Grizz. I fucking live for Grizz. Honestly, for a moment I was shipping Grizz with like Allie.
Same.
Because he was like protecting her and I was just like living for it. But then I'm like, no, Grizz and Sam here for it. It's like they're the only gay people in the town, but they also have a genuine connection. Like I was so here for it. And then fucking pregnant girls out here ruining it.
Yeah. No, and she was being so mean.
She was being so
And
mean.
I mean, I think that's pregnancy. Like, she is pregnant. She's giving birth. Like, 50% chance of survival in no technology.
And like nobody actually thinks that they had sex.
No.
Yeah.
So they just look stupid.
Yeah, I wish like Sam could just tell Grace like, I'm being a good guy. You should actually like me more.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
don't know why he can't.
Same.
Grizz seems like he could keep a
because they
secret.
have to take it to the grave. You can't just like tell a few people and then lie to everyone
But it's
else.
like, you know what? It's like the world is so big. I'm sorry, the world is so small now. Like no one gives a shit who your baby daddy is. We're trying to live, you know?
We're trying to make it back to Earth.
But maybe that's why it's so crazy.
When they found farmland, like I actually was going to cry, but Margot said it and I thought the same thing. Like there's no way they come back and the farmland is still there.
Yeah.
Really?
For
I
sure.
I just don't think that the people that are pulling the strings like want success here.
Right.
And so it's like they found this land and then they're gonna go back and it's gonna be gone.
Right, and like they were just like turkeys on the land. It was too good to be true.
I don't think so. I think they found this land and it'll still be there. It's the only way for like the show to go on. Otherwise, they die in like a month.
That's true.
When that girl came into Grizz's tent and was like trying to fuck, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bitch.
She was all over the place the whole series.
Right, she was dating one of the guards,
Clark.
right? And then they stayed in the
Clark.
same room because they didn't want to give up their couple's room.
Which I
Relatable.
understand.
Relatable.
But
You
she
know-
also was like talking to Cassandra, like talking shit to Cassandra, being like, "No one liked you in high school."
Right.
It's like, shut up.
No,
Gwen.
some of the girls, Gwen.
Gwen.
Yeah. Some of the girls are like so stupidly dangerous that like it pisses me off.
Lexi.
Lexi.
She was also the one whose mom is a hoarder and her house is like full of goods.
Oh,
was that
yeah.
I realized that as I was getting ready this morning with her bat.
I guess, you know, there's no better time to be a hoarder than when the world ends, you know?
Yeah.
100%. No, I think they're never getting off. This is like a lesson in like it's a micro political situation.
Right.
And now they need to like learn how to live and have babies and get married and not try and kill each other.
Right.
And at the
It's like
end,
they live on a kibbutz. That's what I was thinking
like
the whole time.
show isn't about like there'll always be this thing like how did we get here, how do we go home, but the show is about the society of
Right.
like this is what happens when like 250 high school students are left to their own devices in a world without anything else.
Yeah, and I'm glad they're addressing the fact that it's like we miss our parents, but like there's some things going on here that we actually do like.
Yeah.
Like I can smoke pot without my parents.
Okay, but how do they have enough alcohol?
and marijuana?
That's what we said the entire
it
episode.
makes no sense.
They have-
Between the liquor store and all their houses that actually, I don't know.
But the amount that they've been they drink every day.
night.
Now it's been 6 months of like heavy drinking every night. There's no way. I thought they were going to run out of alcohol at the party at the church the first
yeah.
time.
No,
Yeah.
it literally makes no sense.
I'm so worried about like their resources.
And they're not, and that's the problem, and it shows.
Also, what do you think? So, what do you think the parents think happened? That they like all died on the bus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also, the smell is weird.
There's some. Yeah.
They're,
Excuse me.
I mean, maybe we'll get answers, but probably not.
Whatever.
And whatever the answer is, it's going to be like some Black Mirror shit where it's
Yeah.
like parallel, like nothing explainable, nothing that teaches us anything.
I don't even care. I'm just like so happy to have a good, interesting, compelling TV show on my screen.
But now we
Right,
have to wait a full year because it literally came out in May.
Yeah.
Whatever. I've been following them all on Instagram and it's making it so much easier. Luke.
Except they all post together, except with Allie.
No, Allie posts with all of them all
Allie
the time.
posts with
I don't know. I was
Allie's-
trying to find her Instagram through the cast's Instagram, and it took me forever. I had to go back to the Society main page.
She's the most famous one, and she was in Big Little Lies now. So
Yeah.
like, I think she might be like.
Oh, right. And she was also in Bad Teacher, the best movie ever, where she's the girl Skylar and the kid in the gymnastics sweatshirt is in love with her.
So I think that she might just be like above. She thinks she's better, you know.
But
I
Christine
don't
Frosteth went to the Met Gala
She did.
with Chanel.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds
She
right.
like she like can't catch a break. Like she should be really famous, and like she ain't.
No, but it's this
Maybe it's
new-
'cause her name is Christine
No, I feel like
Frosteth.
these kids are actually the best example of like the new wave where it's like we're coming up through Netflix and Awesomeness TV and like Hulu, and these are what movie stars are today.
Yeah.
But like we don't really know them.
Yeah, no, these kids are really, like, really supremely talented.
Yeah. But this is like they're coming in through the back doors.
Their ship may have sailed.
But their ship
No.
is, their yacht may have sailed, but their ship is coming in.
Okay, well, that's all we got for you today. Thank you guys so much for listening to The Morning Toast, which is the Millennial Morning Show. I'm sure you know. You can listen to us on YouTube, live Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Feel free to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment about how beautiful we are. I don't know. You decide. We're also available as a podcast. If you're a commuter, you like listening to podcasts, take the train, long drive.
Take the ferry.
Take the ferry. Head over to iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you can listen to podcasts. Subscribe there. Also leave a 5-star review being like, oh my God, these girls are so smart and hilarious. Like, how did I not live with them before, you know? You decide. It's for real.
We're not picky.
We're not picky.
Just
Thank
leave
you guys
a
so
5-star
much. Girl with No Job. Follow me on Instagram.
Jackie O Problems, please.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.